It's so crazy to me because I'm asked so many times if I'm, resentful in any type of way for where the WNBA is.
The WNBA world just erupted in chaos, and the internet can't stop talking about it. Candace Parker, one of the league's most iconic stars, didn't hold back, and Caitlin Clark's haters got roasted on national TV in a way that left everyone stunned. Social media exploded within seconds. Clips went viral. Fans flooded comment sections. And the debate over respect, legacy, and dominance in women's basketball reached a fever pitch. Candace Parker is no stranger to the spotlight. From MVP awards to Olympic gold medals, she's built a reputation as one of the game's fiercest competitors. And when she speaks, people listen. So when Parker addressed criticism aimed at Caitlin Clark, one of the WNBA's rising superstars, viewers knew it wasn't going to be subtle. The energy was palpable, the delivery sharp, and the timing perfect. Caitlin Clark, meanwhile, has been the target of endless commentary, both fair and unfair. Her talent is undeniable, but with national exposure comes scrutiny. Haters have questioned her style, her leadership, and even her mental toughness. Yet in front of millions of viewers, Candace Parker shut it all down, turning what could have been a debate into a full-on masterclass of defense and respect. The clip itself has fans replaying the moment over and over. Parker's words were precise, her tone commanding, and her presence unmissable. Every hand gesture, pause, and inflection was analyzed. Viewers are dissecting not just what she said, but how she said it, and what it signals about her relationship with the next generation of WNBA stars. And now, the discussion is bigger than just one segment. Fans are debating on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Sports analysts are weighing in. Even casual viewers are chiming in, blown away by Parker's confidence and Clark's rising prominence. The WNBA has always been competitive, but this moment proves that respect and chaos can happen in real time on national television. To fully understand why this moment caused such chaos in the WNBA, you have to look at the journey of both Candace Parker and Caitlin Clark, two stars from different generations, each commanding attention in their own way. Candace Parker is a household name in women's basketball. From her early days at Naperville Central High School in Illinois to her standout career at the University of Tennessee, Parker was always destined for greatness. She entered the WNBA as a top draft pick, and her immediate impact was undeniable. She won Rookie of the Year in 2008 and quickly became a force on the court. Parker's combination of size, skill, and basketball IQ made her a threat on both ends of the floor. Her accolades, including multiple MVP awards, WNBA championships, and Olympic medals, cement her legacy as one of the all-time greats. But it isn't just her stats that command respect. It's her presence, leadership, and fearlessness. Parker has always been vocal and unafraid to call out disrespect, whether from opponents, media, or fans. Caitlin Clark, on the other hand, represents the next generation of talent. She emerged as a sensation at the University of Iowa, known for her incredible scoring ability, deep-range shooting, and poise under pressure. Her stats broke records, and her highlight reels went viral repeatedly. Clark's name became synonymous with dominance in women's college basketball, earning her national recognition long before entering the WNBA. Her skill set is remarkable, but so is her confidence. She plays with a swagger and fearlessness that challenges opponents to step up or be left behind. Clark's transition to the WNBA has been highly anticipated, with fans and critics alike curious to see how she adapts to the league's intensity and physicality. The tension began quietly but grew steadily. Clark's rise sparked conversations about her role in shaping the future of women's basketball, and naturally, comparisons to legends like Parker became inevitable. Social media, of course, amplified every comment, every highlight, every opinion. While most reactions were supportive, a subset of critics emerged, questioning Clark's style, leadership, or ability to perform under pressure. Some even went so far as to publicly doubt whether she could handle the expectations that come with professional play. Candace Parker, watching from her established platform, didn't let the negativity slide. Her respect for the game and for the next generation is well known, but so is her intolerance for disrespect, particularly toward young players who are working hard to make their mark. In recent interviews and public appearances, Parker has often emphasized mentorship and the importance of elevating the game, not tearing it down. So when Clark's haters went too far, Parker recognized an opportunity to defend not just Clark but the integrity of the sport itself. The stage for the national television moment was set by a combination of factors. First, The WNBA itself has been growing in visibility, with record-breaking viewership and increased media coverage. Second, Clark's performance on the court has been nothing short of spectacular, making her a natural focal point for discussion. And third, Parker's return to a more prominent on-air presence gave her the platform to address issues that had been simmering online and in the media. Fans had already noticed the subtle tensions leading up to the broadcast. Online forums and social media accounts dedicated to women's basketball were buzzing with speculation. Would Parker address the negativity directly? How would Clark respond if the conversation turned personal? Even casual viewers, unfamiliar with the league's inner dynamics, could sense that something significant was about to happen. The anticipation built to a fever pitch, creating an atmosphere in which Parker's words would carry unprecedented weight. And when it finally happened on national television, the reaction was immediate. Parker's delivery was confident and measured, but each word hit with the force of experience and authority. She didn't just defend Caitlin Clark. She confronted the broader culture of criticism and doubt surrounding young athletes, highlighting respect, professionalism, and the importance of lifting up rather than tearing down. The energy in the arena and the millions watching from home could feel the intensity. This confrontation wasn't just about two individuals, it was about generational respect, the evolution of the game, and the power dynamics that come with experience versus emerging talent. It also marked a defining moment in how the WNBA communicates its values to a national audience. Parker's defense of Clark was more than a statement. It was a lesson, a message, and a spectacle all at once. By the end of the segment, it was clear that the landscape of women's basketball had shifted slightly. Fans were energized, commentators were debating, and social media had exploded with clips, memes, and hot takes. The stage was set for ongoing discussion, a story that would continue unfolding as Parker and Clark's legacies developed in tandem. The moment finally came on national television, and the energy in the arena was palpable. Cameras cut to Candace Parker, seated with her usual composure and confidence, ready to address the controversy surrounding Caitlin Clark and the critics who had been relentlessly targeting her. From the first words, Parker set the tone, sharp, clear, and unapologetic. She didn't mince words, nor did she allow the narrative to be twisted. Every phrase was carefully delivered, reinforcing her status not only as a legendary player but also as a guardian of respect within the sport. Parker began by acknowledging the scrutiny young players face, particularly those entering the professional spotlight as early as Caitlin Clark. "These athletes are under pressure," Parker said. "They are performing on national stages, balancing expectations from fans, coaches, and media. What they don't need is constant negativity or personal attacks." Her voice carried authority, born from years of navigating similar pressure herself. The statement was simple but impactful. Clark didn't deserve the public shaming she had been receiving. Then Parker shifted to the heart of the confrontation, addressing the haters directly. Without calling anyone out by name, she used examples of common criticisms, questioning leadership, challenging composure, and doubting performance. "When you're young, people will try to bring you down," she continued. "But true competitors rise above, and the WNBA is about elevating the game, not tearing each other apart." The delivery was precise, leaving little room for misinterpretation. Viewers could feel her intent, a mix of defense, mentorship, and controlled fire. As Parker spoke, Clark sat nearby, visibly focused but composed, taking in the message. There was no interruption, no theatrics, only a shared understanding that Parker's words were both protective and empowering. The chemistry between veteran and rising star added an extra layer of credibility to the moment. Parker's reputation as a leader lent weight to her statements, signaling to the public that this wasn't merely an opinion, it was a standard of respect within professional basketball. Fans' reactions on social media were immediate. Clips of Parker's statements were posted to Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter within seconds. Viewers began replaying her gestures, pauses, and emphases, dissecting each for additional meaning. Some praised Parker for her mentorship and candor, calling her a legend who speaks truth. Others highlighted the broader implications for young athletes, noting that this moment could set a precedent for how public criticism is handled in the WNBA. Every clip and post gained thousands of shares and comments within hours, demonstrating the clip's viral potential. Meanwhile, debate erupted in forums and sports media channels. Analysts dissected her delivery, comparing it to past interviews and public statements. The discussion expanded beyond Clark to address the culture of women's basketball as a whole, how criticism is levied against rising stars, and how veterans like Parker can influence perception and fan behavior. This segment became more than just a defense. It sparked a larger conversation about respect, media narratives, and athlete empowerment. Memes and reaction videos soon appeared, mixing humor with analysis. Some highlighted Parker's facial expressions or dramatic pauses, while others emphasized the stark contrast between the calm confidence of a seasoned veteran and the intensity of critics online. Even casual viewers who weren't following the WNBA regularly were drawn into the debate. Within hours, Parker's defense of Clark had become one of the most discussed moments in women's sports that week. By the end of the segment, it was clear that Candace Parker had not only defended Caitlin Clark but also shifted the conversation around respect in the WNBA. Fans were energized, media outlets were reporting on the reaction, and the clip continued to circulate across multiple platforms. Parker's words were a powerful reminder that experience, authority, and confidence can command attention, and that defending young talent is as much a responsibility as winning championships. This moment wasn't just about a single confrontation. It was about setting the standard for mentorship, leadership, and accountability in professional sports. Parker's impact extended beyond the words she spoke. It was a public statement on culture, respect, and legacy, leaving fans, critics, and aspiring athletes alike with a moment they wouldn't soon forget. The fallout from Candace Parker's remarks was immediate and intense. Within minutes of the segment airing, social media erupted. Fans, commentators, and casual viewers all weighed in, creating a frenzy of discussion, analysis, and reaction. Twitter threads exploded with thousands of comments dissecting Parker's words, while Instagram and TikTok users clipped the segment and added their own takes, from supportive praise to heated debate. The viral nature of the moment turned it from a simple national television appearance into a cultural event, illustrating how a single message can dominate online discourse in hours. Supporters of Caitlin Clark quickly rallied around her. Clips of Parker defending Clark were reposted with captions like "Candace says it all" or "Caitlin's got a legend in her corner," framing the segment as a public seal of approval. Fans highlighted Clark's poise during the segment, noting her composure and focus in the presence of one of the game's most decorated veterans. Social media buzzed with admiration, emphasizing that Parker's endorsement carried significant weight in shaping public perception of Clark as both a player and a professional. However, not all reactions were purely celebratory. Some critics argued that Parker's remarks were performative or exaggerated, designed to stir controversy and generate engagement. Comment sections were split, with one side praising Parker for protecting Clark, while another questioned whether such interventions were necessary in the first place. These debates were not limited to casual fans. Sports analysts, former players, and media commentators joined the conversation, adding layers of complexity to the public's interpretation. Some discussions focused on the broader implications for the WNBA, asking whether this moment signaled a shift in how criticism and mentorship are publicly handled in women's basketball. The segment also sparked a wave of memes and reaction videos, a hallmark of viral moments in the digital era. TikTok users superimposed Parker's lines over dramatic or humorous scenarios, exaggerating gestures for comedic effect while simultaneously drawing attention to her authority. On Instagram, meme accounts highlighted the contrast between Clark's calm demeanor and the online negativity she faced, often framing Parker's defense as a heroic intervention. This creative response amplified the reach of the clip, ensuring that audiences who may not even follow the WNBA became engaged with the story. Beyond humor and fan debates, there was a substantive discussion about mentorship in sports. Analysts and fans alike emphasized the importance of experienced players guiding and defending younger talent. Parker's public support of Clark was framed not only as a defense of one player but also as a statement about the culture of the league that respect, leadership, and professional conduct should be valued over unwarranted criticism. This interpretation elevated the segment from a moment of conflict to a lesson in leadership and legacy. The impact on Caitlin Clark's reputation was significant. By receiving public backing from one of the league's most influential figures, she was shielded from some of the more severe online negativity and positioned as a rising star with legitimacy and credibility. Fans interpreted Parker's remarks as an endorsement of Clark's talent, professionalism, and potential, strengthening her narrative as a player who can handle scrutiny and maintain focus under pressure. In a league where perception often influences opportunities and sponsorships, such high-profile support can be career-defining. Meanwhile, the WNBA itself benefited from the heightened attention. The conversation drew new viewers to games, increased engagement on league social media channels, and sparked debates that transcended sports, touching on culture, gender, and media criticism. By addressing the issue publicly, Parker not only defended Clark but also highlighted larger societal conversations about how young athletes are treated in the public eye, particularly women in professional sports, who often face disproportionate scrutiny. By the end of the week, the clip had circulated globally, trending on multiple platforms and dominating sports news cycles. The moment underscored the influence of veteran players like Parker in shaping both the narrative and culture of the WNBA. Fans, analysts, and commentators were united in recognizing the segment as more than a defense. It was a public lesson in mentorship, respect, and leadership, illustrating how words and actions on national television can have a ripple effect across an entire sport. Ultimately, the aftermath demonstrated the power of narrative in modern sports. One segment, one carefully delivered statement, and one supportive act of mentorship created a story that captivated millions, shaped perceptions of Caitlin Clark, and reinforced Candace Parker's legacy as a leader both on and off the court. The chaos of social media, the debates, the memes, and the viral clips all served to amplify the message, ensuring that this moment would be remembered as a defining chapter in the ongoing evolution of the WNBA. The fallout from Candace Parker's defense of Caitlin Clark continued to reverberate long after the initial segment aired. While the moment was immediate and explosive, its implications reached far beyond a single national television appearance, shaping public perception, influencing fan culture, and highlighting ongoing challenges in the WNBA. For Caitlin Clark, the segment was a pivotal moment in her young career. Public endorsement from a veteran like Parker immediately boosted her credibility, not only among fans but within the league itself. Clark's composure during the segment demonstrated her maturity and ability to handle scrutiny, further enhancing her reputation. Analysts pointed out that this moment could serve as a foundation for her professional identity, solidifying her status as a rising star capable of balancing talent with poise. The segment also set a precedent. Young athletes in the WNBA could now expect mentorship and support from veterans, creating a framework for navigating public criticism while maintaining focus on performance. Candace Parker, meanwhile, reinforced her position as a leader within the league. Her decision to address Clark's haters publicly highlighted her commitment to defending the next generation of talent. This was not just a personal stance, it was a statement about the culture of the WNBA. Parker's words emphasized accountability, respect, and professionalism, values that shaped the league's reputation. By using her platform to advocate for Clark, she demonstrated the influence veteran players wield, not just on the court but in shaping narratives that impact careers, public perception, and fan engagement. The broader impact on the WNBA itself was significant. In a league striving for greater visibility and cultural relevance, moments like this create engagement beyond the game. Social media buzz, trending hashtags, viral clips, and debates on commentary shows extended the conversation far beyond the segment. Viewers who may not regularly watch WNBA games were drawn into the discussion, broadening the league's audience. Sponsors and media outlets also took notice, recognizing the value of moments that spark national conversation. Parker's intervention served as both defense and promotion, reminding fans why the WNBA is not just about athletic excellence but also about leadership, personality, and the stories that define the league. Fan culture, in particular, was transformed by this segment. Online communities dissected Parker's every word, debated the tone, and created memes that circulated widely. The clip became a case study in how fan engagement shapes narratives in modern sports. Supporters of Clark celebrated her resilience and Parker's mentorship, while critics reconsidered their stance in light of the public backing. These discussions highlighted the dual nature of fandom. It can be both critical and supportive, often simultaneously, and social media amplifies every reaction. The segment also sparked conversations about gender dynamics in sports media. Female athletes frequently face scrutiny that their male counterparts rarely encounter, and Parker's defense highlighted the importance of standing up against unfair criticism. This moment became a teaching point for young athletes, fans, and commentators alike, reinforcing that skill, professionalism, and respect should never be overshadowed by unwarranted negativity. In this sense, Parker's intervention transcended a single player or team. It became a broader statement about culture, fairness, and mentorship in professional sports. Over time, the viral clip maintained its relevance. Highlights were replayed during games, segments were referenced in podcasts, and analysts continued to discuss its significance weeks later. The moment wasn't just fleeting viral content. It evolved into a symbol of the intersection between performance, mentorship, and media scrutiny. For Clark, it was a confidence boost. For Parker, a reinforcement of legacy. And for the league, an example of how public discourse can be steered toward respect and empowerment. Ultimately, this moment illustrated that in modern sports, influence extends beyond talent. How athletes navigate public platforms, support each other, and address criticism plays a crucial role in shaping legacies. Candace Parker's defense of Caitlin Clark was a defining moment not just for the two players but for the WNBA itself, a lesson in leadership, culture, and the power of using one's voice responsibly in an age dominated by social media scrutiny and public debate. The conversation around the segment continues to evolve, reminding fans and players alike that every interaction, every statement, and every gesture has the potential to shape careers, perceptions, and the culture of the sport for years to come. The ripple effects of Candace Parker's defense of Caitlin Clark continue to grow long after the initial broadcast, turning a single television segment into a major cultural event within the WNBA and beyond. Fans, analysts, and commentators dissected every detail, debating the significance of Parker's words, Clark's response, and the broader implications for women's professional sports. What had started as a defensive gesture on national TV became a defining moment in the league's narrative, illustrating how mentorship, media, and fan engagement intersect to shape public perception. Fan reactions were intense and diverse. On social media platforms like Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, supporters of Clark celebrated Parker's intervention as both validation and empowerment. Memes, reaction videos, and viral clips highlighted Parker's authority and Clark's composure, framing the segment as a lesson in professionalism. Fans praised Clark for remaining calm, noting her ability to absorb criticism without letting it affect her on-court performance. Many argued that Parker's defense served as a public endorsement, cementing Clark's credibility as a rising star in the league. The segment quickly became a touchstone for debates about respect, performance, and the treatment of young athletes. At the same time, critics questioned the necessity of Parker's intervention. Some argued that the defense of Clark could have been handled privately, away from the public eye, rather than on national television. Others debated whether the segment was performative, designed more to generate viral content than to address substantive issues. These discussions, while critical, only added to the intensity of the public discourse. By engaging both supporters and skeptics, the segment amplified the conversation, creating a feedback loop that ensured its longevity in sports media. The cultural impact extended beyond fandom. Analysts, commentators, and former athletes weighed in on panels, emphasizing the importance of mentorship in professional sports. Parker's words were interpreted not only as support for Clark but also as a broader commentary on the treatment of women athletes. The conversation highlighted how young players are often subject to heightened scrutiny, facing criticism that can affect both their careers and mental health. By addressing these issues publicly, Parker demonstrated leadership that transcended individual rivalry, reinforcing her legacy as a role model for both current and aspiring athletes. For Caitlin Clark, the moment was career-defining. The public backing of a respected veteran not only shielded her from some of the harshest criticism but also positioned her as a player capable of handling national scrutiny with grace. Analysts pointed out that the segment could influence sponsorship opportunities, fan engagement, and future media coverage. More importantly, it strengthened Clark's narrative as a rising star whose skill, focus, and professionalism would define her trajectory in the WNBA. The mentorship aspect of the moment added depth to her public image, signaling that she is not just a prodigy but also a player guided by the wisdom of legends. For Candace Parker, the segment reinforced her position as a leader and cultural influencer in women's basketball. By stepping forward to defend Clark, Parker underscored her commitment to mentorship, integrity, and elevating the sport. Her words sent a clear message: criticism should be constructive, respect is paramount, and supporting the next generation is both a responsibility and an honor. Parker's intervention also highlighted the evolving role of veteran players in shaping league culture, showing that leadership extends far beyond individual performance on the court. The WNBA itself benefited from the attention. Increased viewership, social media engagement, and trending discussions drew new audiences to the league. By showcasing moments of mentorship, empowerment, and dialogue, the league reinforced its relevance not only as a platform for elite athletic performance but also as a space for cultural conversation. The segment demonstrated that women's professional basketball is not just about statistics and championships. It is about leadership, values, and shaping public perception. Ultimately, this moment will be remembered as a defining point in the ongoing narrative of the WNBA. Candace Parker's defense of Caitlin Clark became more than a reaction to criticism. It became a lesson in leadership, mentorship, and professionalism. Fans, players, and analysts alike recognized that words spoken on national television carry enormous weight, influencing not just perception but the very culture of the sport. The viral debate, the fan reactions, and the cultural discourse surrounding the segment ensured that its impact will be felt for years to come. In the end, this wasn't just a battle between haters and a rising star. It was a statement about the power of experience, the responsibility of leadership, and the importance of protecting talent in a high-stakes, public arena. Candace Parker and Caitlin Clark showed the world that mentorship, respect, and courage are just as essential to the WNBA as talent and athleticism, leaving a legacy that fans and players will continue to reference for years. This moment has shaken the WNBA and sparked conversations all over social media. Candace Parker didn't just defend Caitlin Clark. She sent a message about respect, leadership, and the future of women's basketball. Fans are still debating every word, gesture, and reaction, and the discussion isn't slowing down. We want to hear from you. Do you think Parker's intervention was necessary, or could Clark have handled her critics on her own? How do you see this moment shaping the next generation of WNBA stars? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and join the conversation. Your opinion matters. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss the latest in sports drama, viral moments, and insider commentary. Stay tuned, because in the WNBA, every play, every statement, and every viral moment could change the game forever.